good. So again, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. My name is Reina Ferrufino, and my pronouns are she, her, and ella. And I have the true honor and privilege to lead our DEIB efforts at Rio Salado College. I am thrilled to welcome you all to our special virtual event today, Voices of Leadership, as we celebrate and honor the contributions of Asian American Pacific Islander trailblazers in the realm of higher education. And as some of you may know, May marks the celebration of Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, a time dedicated to recognize and appreciate the profound impact that generations of AAPI individuals have made to American history, society, and culture. Okay, today we have the privilege to have an esteemed panel of AAPI leaders who have paved the way in their respective fields and continue to inspire us with their achievements. So joining us today, I don't know if each one of you may want to unmute yourself, give us your name, title, and something that you'd like to share with us all. Who would like to go first? I'll say, Dawn, would you like to go first?
Okay. Hi, my name is Dawn Kanwai, and everybody call me with Dawn because with my last name, everybody confused. Every time when I say my last name, why? Everybody said, why? I just need to know your last name. No, I spell it Huai, so the pronunciation is like Why. So I prefer with my first name, Dawn, and I am married. I am a mom of 4 children. I am Zomi Burmese, and it is my pleasure to be a part of AAPI Heritage Month. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dawn. And Dawn is one of our Rio Salado students. So, woohoo! Come on, we have our student voices here. So, thank you, Dawn, for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here with us. Yes, who would like to go next?
I can go next, Arena. Okay, so in honor of AAPI, I'd like to greet you in 3 different ways from my dialect. Magandang umaga, maayong buntag, maayong adlaw. So these are just 3 of the ways that we say good morning in the Philippines. Hello, everyone. Thanks for attending the presentation. My name is Beth Brazones, and there's actually 111 recognized dialects that are used in the Philippines. It is an archipelago made up of 7,641 islands at low tide and 2,000 islands that are inhabited. So lots of islands, lots of different regions. So I work as the instructional services manager for community development. I oversee the virtual part of providing adult education services to students who are credentialing for their high school equivalency and students who are English language learners. Very privileged to work in a supportive environment that I consider a family in my workplace.
Beautiful and lovely introduction, Lily. Really appreciate you taking the time to share with 3 different forms of languages and sharing a bit about yourself and your culture. Thank you. Kenny?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Kenny Importante. I serve as director for the Asian Pacific American Student Affairs over here in University of Arizona in Tucson. So magandang umaga as well to everyone. Similar to Lily, I am a Filipino and was born in Manila and moved to the US when I was 10 years old. Primarily, as far as my work goes with University of Arizona, I work primarily with our Asian Pacific Islander, DAISY, or South Asian American students as part of their transition to the 4-year institution and basically making sure that they're able to transition and navigate the campus institution. So thank you for having me, Reina.
No problem. It's truly our honor and pleasure. Thank you so much for your lovely introduction. We also have with us Devi, Bala, and Michael Tran. But like I said, they might not be joining us or figuring some things out, but just want to honor them for considering to taking the time and being here. I hope we get to hear from them as well as we did from your lovely introductions. And with that, I also want to share that we have our Dr. President Kate Smith with us. She is in the chat. She is currently unable to join the panelist discussion as well, but she does want you all to know her deepest support and enthusiasm for today's discussion. With that, some other kind of logistics I want to cover is this is a webinar format, so everybody's muted. However, we're going to have 4 or 5 in-depth questions for our panelists, and then we'll have a Q&A section. And during that time, please, you'll be able to raise your hand, use that feature for our attendees, and then we'll go one by one answering those questions, or if you feel more comfortable putting them in the chat, it is your option, but wanted to share that out with you all. So let's get officially started. Thank you for your lovely, lovely introductions again. We are so happy that you are here with us today. And let me get started here maybe with question number 1. And I know Devi and Michael were thinking of answering this question, but would love to see if anyone of you would love to answer this. And can you share with us the path that led you to your current position? What were some pivotal moments or influences that contributed to your success?
Raina, I'd be happy to take this on as additional question. Um, As far as working as a currently director for the APASA Cultural Resource Center here at the University of Arizona, I feel like what led me to my position now really has been because of the people that worked with me, mentored me during my undergraduate days. I went to school at University of California, Santa Barbara, and many of the staff members in student affairs work there ended up basically providing me space to be who I am and to provide professional development for myself through my um, basically being involved in student activities and in residential life within the housing department. And as such, it is because of a group of API, I've identifying individuals that work with me to do some celebration related to API Heritage Month is what really led me to really think about the career in student affairs. And because of the work that we did during that month of May, during my sophomore and junior year, it really led me to really want to do work specifically with Asian, Pacific Islander, Desi, South Asian student population. And through that, ended up working as a graduate assistant at an Asian American Cultural Center setting in Connecticut, and basically just really fell in love with being able to see and make a difference with the students that we work with. And so I think with that in mind, ever since senior year of college, I've always wanted to be a director of a cultural center setting. And many years later, I've been able to serve in my position here at U of A since 2018. And again, making a difference in the students' lives, I think is what is really the main reason why I'm doing the work that we do in supporting our students transition to this campus.
Wow, that's beautiful, Kenny. Thank you so much for sharing. And clearly we could see the passion for students that you have and how that has shaped your experience, mentorship, and just the importance of representation and seeing that where we are. Thank you for sharing, Kenny. Don and Lily, would you like to share a bit more, or would you like to move to question number 2?
Just, yeah,
Yes, or Lily?
just very briefly, I
Of
started
course.
my teaching career working as a volunteer instructor at an all-male high school in American Samoa. So I got my passion for education very early on. I immigrated to the United States, so 1984, and right away I started teaching part-time for Rio Salado College, that long ago, yes. So Rio prides adult education prides itself in reaching out to the community and bringing education, adult education, where it's needed. So I started out at one of our satellite elementary schools, teaching at a standing room only classroom, and I found such satisfaction in making a difference in our students' lives that I've stayed throughout my career in adult education. It's my true passion.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing, Lily. And welcome, Devi. Thanks for going through all those IT issues, and we get to see your beautiful and lovely face.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you again
Yeah.
for inviting me and colleagues. But thank you. It's a great pleasure and an honor to be here. Thank you.
Amazing. Lovely. Thank you so much, Devi. And we were just kind of going over kind of question number one, um, which is, can you share with us the path that led you to your current position? What were some pivotal moments or influences that contributed to your success?
It's a great question and a great start. Where can I tell you, my professional career in the United States began with the Maricopa community colleges. And this was way back in 2001. And it's from the start until today, I attribute my success and my growth to Maricopa. I think it's patience, it's persistence, it's hope, and of course, hard work. It's a combination of all the three.
Love that answer, Debbie. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And if okay, I think we'll transition now to question number two we have for our panelists, which is, how do you celebrate your AAPI heritage and culture in your personal and professional life? And how has this shaped your identity and approach to your work?
Okay. Hello, Dhammo. Nadam Kimtegoya, Along Nikaunjala. I would like to introduce you my Zomi language and in Burmese. It said, like, how are you? How's it going on in your life? And February 20 is Zomi National Days. So in my community, we get together to celebrate our culture through dances, performances, and preaching about faith and traditions. Children will perform things that they will learn together. So at school, once a year, we bring some gifts and food to show our gratitude and respect to the teacher. In my culture, we believe that teachers are a blessing from God. And giving respect and appreciation bless our kids at school. I was never embarrassed about my Asian identity in my work, in my personal life, in my professional life. And I'm very proud to be Asian because an Asian mom who is a non-English speaker can do some great things for the kids at school, like having a chance to support and guide their development. And it is amazing to work with the Native American kids. And because I learned so many new things and new skills from them. And especially in my community for the parents, we need some guide, we need some support. So because of my knowledge from Rio Salado College, and I am able to share about my knowledge to them, how parenting is important and how kids are very important. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Dawn. Thank you so much. We always love seeing everyone's journey, and from your perspective, like again, being a student here, it's so significant along with the importance that culture has embedded in your viewpoints and life. So thank you. Thank you so much, Dawn. Who else would like to tap into and provide us with perspective on this question?
Reina, I'm very proud of my Asian Pacific heritage as well. And I share that with my children, my students, my colleagues, and friends. Like Don, when my kids were growing up and they were in the elementary school, I strived to be a homeroom mom. And every year I would bring my collection of Philippine artifacts and pictures and share these with the kids. And part of the demonstration is teaching them how to cook a Filipino dish. Usually it's fried rice because it's the easiest to bring in the ingredients to school. And one of the artifacts that I bring in, which if you don't mind, I'd like to share with you, I have a collection of Barbie dolls way before Barbie dolls were, in the news. So, but these Barbie dolls are special because they actually represent different costumes from different regions of the Philippines. So with so many islands, we have subcultures in the Philippines, and so they're distinct and they'll have different costumes in different areas. So these are just some of them, and I'm hoping that someday my kids won't will also treasure these Barbie dolls. Also, as a family, Glendale Public Library used to have a program where they invite different countries to decorate Christmas trees, and as a family, we did Christmas tree Philippine themed decorations for about 7 years. And in the professional field, I seek opportunities to share my culture with my colleagues. So they're here. Unfortunately, I don't cook as much Filipino dishes, so I haven't been able to bring in as much as I could, but I did share a lumpia recipe with one of my teachers. And also, I oversee English language learners in my program. So, as much as possible, I like to meet them during orientation and to let them know that I understand the challenges that they go through when they learn a second language, because I've gone through those challenges myself. And so when I speak with them, I let them know that, hey, if I can do it, you can do it as well. So I'm very proud of my heritage as a Filipino and as an Asian American.
Wow, that was so beautiful. Thank you, Lily. Thanks for the show and tell. I want to see them closer and up front. If you take pictures, I'm happy to send it to all of our attendees. I'm sure they also would want to see. And thank you. Thank you so much, Lily. Kenny, would you like to share?
Sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can share a little bit from a personal and a professional standpoint in regards to how we celebrate our culture. I think because I have now a lot of nieces and nephews, some of our nieces and nephews were born in the States. Some of them were born in the Philippines and immigrated here in California. And so I think what we try to do is just to make sure that, we speak Tagalog at home and that everyone is able to continue that kind of being able to communicate with each other, not just in English, but in our native language. I think part of that is really important, especially when they meet other Filipinos, other classmates, and maybe even just the idea of them being able to take a vacation in the Philippines, they would be able to navigate or understand some of the basic um, kind of words and being able to communicate with others. Um, I think about the storytelling is very important in the community to be able to share what it was like back then, or being able to share some of our customs and cultural traditions and being able to pass that on from one generation to others. Those are, I think, some of the things that my cousins and I and my siblings do make sure that we're able to pass those on to the next generation. Professionally, I think because I work in a four-year institution, and for the most part, May ends up becoming towards the end of its finals week for first semester system, and so what most four-year institutions we try to just celebrate APITA Heritage Month during the month of April. And so, as a director of the center, working with 20 student organizations, and you name an ethnic cultural background, they probably have end of the year related events or cultural showcase during the month of April and early May. And so, as director of the Cultural Center here at U of A, We try to make sure that those events and programs are featured, not just within our community, but is also known in a larger scale. And so I think that as a staff member, we have the duty and responsibility to make sure that other individuals that is not of Asian descent is really able to understand and be shown around that there are a very diverse group of communities that makes up our Asian Pacific Islander, Desi South Asian Americans community on campus, and as such, we try to make sure that we market the heck out of it, right? And not just certain students know about it, but also again funding. The center, I think, does a good job in making sure that we fund some of those events so that students themselves do not have to come up with the money to be able to showcase who they are and what they do.
Thank you so much, Kenny, and thanks for providing that professional perspective as well, and for us to consider and reflect and think about as we lead efforts, how to ensure that they are inclusive, that we are honoring the communities while also sharing knowledge that radiates throughout other communities so we could all learn from one another. Beautiful. Okay. Okay. Oh, yes, please, Dawn.
And then like in my professional life too, in the classroom with the preschool kids, they love to hear my voice. So sometimes I sing a song with my language, like head and shoulder, knees and tail. And then they look at me, and sometimes some kids ask me, Dawn, Miss Dawn, I don't understand your Spanish. They thought I'm speaking in Spanish. But when I explained to them, like, this is not Spanish, this is my native language. It's called Zomi. We live in Burma. And then they love to hear it. So almost once a week, sometimes once a month, I sing a song and I do the activity with my own language, and then they love it. So in my professional life, that is how I share my heritage to the kids.
That's beautiful, Dawn, and thanks for sharing that. I love how you're implementing what you're learning and your culture into your professional life. As you're a student yourself, reflecting on that and implementing, like, wait, I could do this with my students as well. Beautiful. Yes. Okay. And I think, okay, we'll go into question number 3. And let me put it in the chat so I realize that folks can know what is the question we are asking here. So question number 3 is, throughout your academic and professional journey, what specific challenges or barriers did you encounter as a member of the AAPI community, and how did you overcome them? And Devi, I don't know if you would be open to share.
Thank you, Reina. Yes. So let me begin by saying there's a cultural expectation in the Indian community that you're either a doctor or a software engineer. That's the traditional path, and I was neither of them. I started off being an accountant. So being an accountant, in order to move up, I had to show experience and expertise beyond just the technical aspect. So yes, I can do the technical aspect of my job, but can I lead? Can I supervise? Can I manage? And I'll tell you one of the hurdles I faced. Maricopa gave me the first entry as an accountant 1. I learned it is very important to take on opportunities that come along your way and to capitalize and to use them. My next promotion as an accountant 2, I failed the interview because I was told I did not have supervisory experience, but that did not deter me. That sincerely made me push harder. I looked for opportunities, women's leadership group. I found myself a mentor and someone who could constructively coach me and critique me. So when you're new to the United States and when you move in and you've not studied high school in the US, I felt that was a big disadvantage for me because there are words that I use initially or I used when I was new that was nowhere in the vocabulary, or the way I said it or spelt it that was not in the vocabulary. But that did not stop me. I joined the WLG program, the National Institute for Leadership Development. Anything and every opportunity that came along, I tried to take advantage of that. And Maricopa had a lot of professional development opportunities that I could make use of. And I think above all, a mindset which is positive is very key, and hope is another great factor.
Thank you, Debbie. Thanks so much for giving us that professional development of your own journey. And I mean, we see you as the VP, and that's it. And to think like, oh, okay, you obviously went through your own journey and being told no, but persevering and leaning on that resilience and that positive mindset. Beautiful. And let's see, anyone else would like to take on this question?
Rain, I'd like to dovetail on what Debbie was saying because it's such valid recommendations. And I've gone through the same path as well. So as I've mentioned, different regions in the Philippines have different subcultures and that are unique to each region. So I grew up in the middle part of the Philippines, in the Visayas region, where that subculture really value being soft-spoken, speaking in a sing-song manner, being self-effacing, and lots of humility in it. So a conversation in my subculture would go like this. Oh, your kids are so smart. No, 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 no. Your kids are smarter. No, 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 no. Your kids are smarter. And that could go on for for a few minutes. Uh, but that how I had a great upbringing, but in the professional field, I found it very challenging to be more outspoken, to be more vocal in the ideas that I present. And so as a supervisor, that is especially challenging because I have to do critical conversations with my staff. And so the training on critical conversations have come in really handy. And just like what Debbie has done, I've gone through the women's leadership group training. I look for opportunities such as these to practice and to be more outspoken and to really, make sure that that I have a voice in our diverse environment. So I look for mentors as well, and advocates who can share their experiences as they navigate the professional environment. So in terms of challenges and setbacks, as with any and all careers, I've had some setbacks, but I'm always thinking that setbacks are just growth opportunities. And so I really focus on my identity as an Asian American, but also as part of a bigger family, community development in Rio Salado College. I'm very much a part of that community, and I always feel valued with my culture. And I focus on my passion for education. That's why I've stayed so long in adult education because that is really my true passion. And that's where I derive the most satisfaction. And I focus on the goals that I seek to accomplish in whatever position that I'm in. Because at the end of the day, I could say to myself that I have done the best job that I could to support my students.
Lovely. Thank you, Lily. Thank you. Again, that passion for students, having that goal in mind, knowing what the outcomes are, those has really driven a lot of your work. And thank you for sharing the space to share your voice. And I think that cultural element is true. We need to consider how culture in a way may impact us. Although I don't identify as a member of the AAPI community, I know for me at times too, like interrupting people, it's so hard for me. I am like, the politeness thing is to let the whole thought to move forward, but knowing, okay, how do I navigate this in this space and lean on our culture and also grow along as we embrace where we are in higher ed. Beautiful. Any other thoughts there? Are we ready for question number 4? Okay, I think we might be ready for question number 4. Yes, okay, awesome. Let's see, let me put it here in the chat. And this is our question. Okay, so the question reads, what actions do you believe educational institutions should take to better support and nurture the aspirations of AAPI students and ensure their success? And Don, maybe if you would like to share some perspective, being our student, what do you think we could do?
Like for me, when I compare how I grow up and when I compare with my education background, it is completely opposite. So in my country, a teacher is like a king and a queen because my father is the teacher too. So my generation is like a teacher generation. So especially we do not have much support from the teacher. Like example, if we don't know something, so when we ask the teacher can only respond, you don't even know that questions, you don't know how to answer these questions. But when I studied in the United States, when I started my education in the United States, that is my biggest like obstacle to me, because I have no confidence to ask a question to the teacher, and I have no idea how to have a critical thinkings, how to discuss with a small group. And every time when the teacher said something, so I am like completely black out. That is how I grow up. So one day I even thought that, okay, I can do that. I cannot do that. I cannot continue this education because for me it is really hard. But my instructor told me, Dawn, I know you have a hard time, so don't worry. This institution is for you. We will support you. What do you need? And I feel like I almost cry because this is my first time to hear from the teacher, and I love it. And then what do you need? Do you need food? She asked me, do you need any bill? And I said, no, I don't need food. I don't need I don't have any financial problem. But because of my language barrier, I feel like I have no confidence. And then she said, okay, don't worry, this institution will help you. We have a free tutoring. So if you don't have like any confidence to go to the free tutoring, I can help you. So because of her, I was able to be here like in this state. So I feel like it is amazing.
Oh, Don, there's so much there. Oh my goodness, so much depth. I think what I hear is for our faculty members or professors to ask, what do you need? How could we help support you? And that help you feel seen and validated. Also, maybe helping our students when it comes to help-seeking behavior. So, you know, it could be really hard to ask, how could I get help? Or what do I even need in this? So I want to just share that. I admire that you had the courage to do that, to lean into that, and also to share your story with us. So thank you. Thank you so much, Dawn. I don't know, anyone else has anything to respond to Dawn or to share your perspective, the panelist?
Dawn brings out, thank you so much for sharing this with us. And I think what you bring out is the ethic of care that we all need to have and show and value that.
That was nicely said, Devi. Yes, I felt that with the stories that you shared in different areas of your student journey.
And Raina, I'll just share a little bit from my perspective as a mid-level administrator here. Um, I think that when we really think about administrators really understanding our API students, um, I often find myself, which is probably also answering the third question earlier, is that the idea that there are a lot of administrators, whether that's a 2-year college, community college, or a 4-year institutions, that really thinks that, Asian Americans are doing so well in schools, and that they're taking over the colleges and universities. And I often have to fight that idea of model minority myth and that idea and that story of, well, at the end of the day there are students that are still struggling. And so I think that, in thinking through this specific last question that we have for today is, how do we make sure that we are able to nurture and support the students that we work with, is to really think about, each students that we work with, they have different stories. Not everyone are coming in with the level of education that we expect them to be at. Not everyone is able to afford, 4-year colleges, and not everyone is able to study out of state and whatnot. And so I think about it as, we as for administrators in the room, we really have to understand that this aggregating data is really needed within the APITA community. The idea that our Southeast Asian student population sometimes are often in a much more in need of additional support than other communities within the Asian diaspora. So I think that's the piece that I think we want administrators to really understand when it comes to understanding our student population.
Wonderful, Kenny. Yes, thank you so much for bringing light into this. And would you mind expanding a little bit more on the Asian American model for those folks that might not be as familiar? Yes.
So this idea of model minority myth probably have uh, originated sometime in the late 1960s as a way to put a wedge between Asian Americans and African Americans in the nation. And so a study during that time suggested that Japanese and Chinese Americans were doing so well in school, and they're able to own businesses and houses, and as a way to kind of compare the community, Asian American community, comparing it to our African American community. And so, as such, many years later, folks are really um, trying to understand it in a way that, where, Asian Americans is not just a monolithic group, but also the fact that there are multiple individuals and families and communities that makes this Asian American community. And so there isn't one story that suggests everyone is successful. And so when we think about supporting students in 2-year, community colleges and public institutions, we really do have to understand that we're working with a very diverse group of people that comes from different backgrounds and socioeconomic status as well.
Beautiful, Kenny. Yeah, so just that reminder and awareness that, again, this misconception or stereotype that Asian American students just have it all figured out, that they're great in the sciences, math, socioeconomic status, and not considering the diversity. We see this a lot in the Southeast communities, really low retention rates when it comes to even graduating high school. So for us to really consider, how could we help support and be informed and challenge those stereotypes? With that being said, yes, I do think there's maybe a link I saw. There's this also really amazing documentary that touches on Southeast Asians in Long Beach. Happy to send that over as well. And I have a resource guide that I'd like to share at the end, but just a little snippet of that. And with that, I think those are the questions we had prepared, because we also want to hear from you all, our attendees here today. We want to open the floor for Q&A section. So if, our folks have questions, please feel free to either drop it in the chat or please raise your hand. That might be easier because I'm having some issues with the chat. And we'll get started here. And I already see a hand up. So yay, wonderful. And John, I'm going to make you a panelist. You're welcome to unmute yourself and turn on your camera, if you feel comfortable. Or not, you could, yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all for sharing. It's just good to learn more about people and, hear your stories. And I loved what you said a little bit ago, Don, in terms of it helps us understand maybe how we have to, of course, we can't treat everyone the same, and we have to be sensitive to the differences. My main question here is, it's kind of, Devi had said something a bit earlier about some students, oftentimes they come with expectations from their culture, from their parents. In her case, what she mentioned to be a doctor or a software engineer, I think. And on one hand, I think in our culture in the US, oftentimes we're encouraged to have students, have people, look inside of themselves and ask, what do they want to do? More of an individualized type of situation, which isn't necessarily bad, but how do we work with our students without discounting some of those cultural norms or expectations, because we don't want to just jump in and assume that the students should follow our way. We also need to be sensitive to them and where they're coming from. So again, particularly in reference to what Devi said, and I think anyway, please, anybody share your thoughts.
Thank you so much, John, and thanks for sharing perspective along with your question. Yes, who would like to take on John's question?
I can jump in here, and thank you, John, for the question. Very relevant. We are also seeing a shift in our modern day students. They are coming in, sometimes knowing, sometimes not knowing, but I think the best approach would be to guide them, to nurture them, to do what they think they can do best. And by focusing on their strengths and allowing them and motivating them to be their own. That would be the critical aspect, and it is okay to go in without knowing what I'm going to major in. It is just fine. And those are the opportunities and avenues that are available to the students in today's world. And that is what we nurture and let them grow and let them find where their strengths are and what their focus has to be, rather than just guiding them into saying, no, I need you to become X, Y, Z.
And I'll chime in as well for as far as what Devi suggested here is that I often find myself having to be in one-on-one situations with students, similar situations where parental expectations versus what the younger generation wants to do, STEM field versus like I want to be in the arts, for instance. And so oftentimes for me, I try to make sure that encouraging both sides, both the family members and the student to find the balance. And it's probably well as well for some of our students to not have to find themselves stuck in one major, but rather encouraging them to take additional classes where to be able to figure out if this is something for them. And at the end of the day as well, from my end, If we have to talk to a parent or two, I tell the student I'd be happy to tell them, but the student has to be there. Or sometimes coaching them through like, okay, so when you go home to your parents, what are you gonna say? So maybe being able to practice and coaching them through what it is that they are able to share with the parent, so that they feel like they are empowered with the language and um, the words that they're able to share with the parents. And sometimes it might just take more than one conversation for the parents to fully understand what that means. But having a similar kind of parents expectation as well, I can understand from both sides, right? As far as those familial expectations.
I love that, Kenny, like the actual support of allowing a student to like this role playing, like how would you speak to your parent? How would you get this conversation even started? Because to even conceptualize that, that pressure and that defiance in a way that might be culturally when you're speaking to your parent to navigate this. I love that. Or even speaking to a parent, or maybe we could have a workshop on how to navigate these conversations. So lovely. And yes, Dawn and then Lily, please go ahead.
I would like to answer as a student perspective. Like most of the Asians, parents choose the dream for the kids. Like myself, after I graduated from high school, my parents chose my major. I don't have a choice. But in the United States, when I started my education, I don't know what to choose. And I believe that the school will choose for me like how I grow up. So when I applied the university in my country, and they didn't ask me my perspective. They just chose my major like my parents. So when I started my education at Salado College, they asked me, Dawn, what do you want to do at school? And I don't know. I just don't know how to answer that question. And I just told them like, I would like to learn English. And I feel like you can speak English. They told me, but I want to graduate at Salado College. And then what is your interesting? They asked me. I have no idea. I don't know what to answer. And that is what I found out, like the American education system is really, really good. And they said like, okay, she said the Asian people are really good at mathematics. So maybe you want to become the accountants. But that is not my dream. I want to become a teacher, but I cannot say because I feel like they're gonna choose for me. But and I have a good conversation with them. And can you choose, if you don't mind, can you choose my major? And she said, no, we cannot choose your major, but you can think about it and you can come back. You can think about, I can give you 1 week and then come back and let's discuss about it. And after 1 week, I met with them and I told them I want to become a teacher. And she asked me, okay, what kind of teacher? The only thing I know is that like a teacher, but elementary school teacher, preschool teacher, high school teacher, I have no idea at that time. And then, okay, what do you want to teach at school? And I just replied that just the little kids, just a little kid. Okay, I think that you want to become a preschool teacher. And I have no idea what is the preschool teacher program. And I just told them like, one of my kid teacher told me, because my kid has the problem because they cannot speak very well. They make up their own language that nobody understands. So they meet with the speech teacher. So the speech teacher always say that, okay, Dawn, you can do it. You can do this. You can do this. But I have no idea what is it. But I have no idea how to explain to my student specialist too. And I tell about all of my story. And then she said, okay, Dawn, now I got it. I believe that you want to study early child educations. And how about you start one classes? And then let's figure out if you are not interested in, okay, let's switch another one. We have so many opportunity. And then she printed out everything about like if you want to become a teacher, we have so many lists, we have so many programs, we have so many certificates. And then when I look at it, I have no idea what are they. And then I started my one classes with early child education. And then after I finished the classes, and I emailed him, okay, thank you so much. I found out that is what I want to learn. Thank you so much. And then I told my husband, okay, honey, look at that. Um, my education background and the United States education background is completely different and opposite. They do not choose my major. I have a chance to choose my major, and I have a voice. Now I have a voice, and then I told my husband, I can become a preschool teacher one day. Look at me, I can do it because they told me you can do it.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, thank you, Dawn. That's so beautiful. And I love the story and being so personal. And I think it shows the strength of the advisor. I'm so glad you had a great advisor to take the time to, instead of just making it, okay, this sounds right, or this seems right, to really challenge that and have you think about, okay, what does that mean? And even maybe not even having the language, but having the opportunity to have like career conversations. So what is it that you would want to do? What do you see in our vision that? So I'm really glad you have found your path, and I know you're going to be so great at it. And yes, Lily.
I love listening to Dawn because um, sh- those are my students in adult education. So I'm going to address that from the area of adult education. So we have students from all walks of life, from different parts of the world, and they all come at different levels, whether it's academic and digital skills. And so we need to upskill them first in terms of their language skills and their digital skills. And we have lots of dedicated teachers whose goal is really to provide our students with more choices. Because when they come to us, sometimes they like that they don't really know what they want to do. They don't know what choices they have. So that is our first step in my department, in my community development, is that we provide our students with the skills that they need to make those choices. So now we have a virtual learning academy where we focus on improving their digital skills, which is really important for them when they make their career choices. So we are also making big strides in providing our students with career training within our program. They could be going to medical assisting, they could go into business entrepreneurship. So we have more choices than ever before when I first started so many years ago. But I think that is the very important first step so that our students would have that choice as to where they want to go, whether they want to become a teacher, a preschool teacher, and we provide them with scholarships to take their GED as well. That's part of our program. But the bottom line is we want them to be ready to make that choice. We want them to have those academic skills and digital skills to be successful when they do make that choice.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Lily, for that perspective. And we have one last question here that I see. What is your favorite tradition or happiest memory in relation to your culture?
I'll take that question. I think it's festivals. We in India celebrate, I think there's one festival a month, if not more than one a month. It used to be a time, if I recall my early childhood days, there are 3 of those festivals where we get new clothes. We get to go to the store to buy. That's the only opportunity when, the family spends money getting new clothes for all of us. So that has stayed on. It's been a tradition that I really cherish and enjoy.
Beautiful. Thank you, Devi. Anyone else would like to share what your favorite tradition or happiest memory in relation to your culture is?
Ken, do you remember Santa Cruzan when you were growing up? That used to be one of my most favorite holidays after Christmas in the Philippines. So, and what that is, we celebrate our culture by um, designating the queen of the festival, and there are other the princesses, and we would be so proud when we get chosen to be one of the princesses to carry that big bridal veil behind the main queen. So that always stands out to me as a great tradition. And so that just brings back happy memories with that really nice question, Reina.
And I would say for me, New Year celebration is something that is very specific to the Philippines. Though I have not been celebrating New Year in the Philippines lately, but it's really loud. Everyone gets to visit each other. And I think there's something about it that's I think is just unique compared to like what most people know about like the ball drop or whatnot. It's just a bit different.
Yes, for me it's October because we have Boy. That means like in the United States, it's like a Thanksgiving. In October in my country, we harvest everything rice because we eat a lot rice, corn, sunflower, peanut, and everything. So in October we have a big celebration to thank God uh, to blessing us. And then mom's side, dad's side, we all uh, gather in a grandma or grandpa house, and then we cook together and we eat together. And before we eat, uh, our parents went to the cemetery who already passed away, our grandma, uncle side, and they brought some food to them, and they say something, okay, here is our food that you blessing for us. And then because we believe that even if they already passed away, they blessed us. That's what we believe. And then after they came back, we pray together. We thank God together with the little kids. And then the parents and the grandma, uncle, and they always share us how to respect the parents, how to love each other, how to take care of each other, how to share food. So that is my memory and yeah, the beautiful tradition that we have.
Oh, so beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And thank you, Christine, for that question. Really could see the smile and everybody just thinking about that. And I know we're a little bit over time, but just want to thank you all so much for being here today to our attendees and of course to our you all panelists. Thank you so much, Devi, Lily, Kenny, and Dawn for sharing your stories, your perspective, your knowledge with us all. And thank you for a lovely morning. And I want to wish you all a beautiful afternoon. Thank you once again and take care.
Thank you.
Thank you, Reina, for the opportunity. Thank you,
No
everyone.
problem.
Have a
It's our
great week.
pleasure. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for DIB Council who attended as well. Bye.
Bye.